Hey there, Gravette Lions fans. This is Hayden.
And I'm Paul, and you're watching Gravette Gameday. Now it's time for football recap. Last week the Lions played the Gentry Pioneers. The Lions went into the half with a 26-14 lead. Coming into the second half, the Lions and the Pioneers were in a ball game, with both teams scoring back and forth. The game was 42-41, and the Pioneers kicker missed a PAT late in the game. The Lions drove down the field and scored on a spectacular catch from side to Rhett Hover. They went up 50-41 with around 30 seconds left to play. The Pioneers quarterback Zach Jernigan threw the ball and it was brought down by a Pioneer receiver. The Pioneers scored, but it wasn't enough as Carl Bontrager recovered the onside kick and the Lions won 50-49.
Now it's time for football coming up. This week the Lions have a playing game against the Mills University Studies High School. The Comets have a 4-6 record coming into the game. This 4A2 team has won 3 conference games this season, 2 of which were wins by less than 1 score. The Lions must stop the run if they want to advance to the opening round of the playoffs. Now over to Paul from yesterday.
What is up, guys from the future? It is me, Paul from yesterday, and I'm here to break down Little Rock Mills offense. So they run 2 different types of offenses. They run the spread and then they run the wishbone. And I'm going to show you both of them. So without further ado, let's get started. So Little Rock Mills, they run a wishbone and a spread. So this is the wishbone. So what's going to happen is it is going to be a running back sweep to the right. So you're going to have a down block by this tight end. That is a crucial key in this play. You're going to have a double to the linebacker, a double to this linebacker, and a solo over here, leaving everyone accounted for. Then, coming off of this side, you have a lead blocker by your A, a lead blocker by the C, and the quarterback just reverses out, hands it to the tailback. The tailback goes out here, and it seems like they got everybody blocked for it, and this X out here is just making a play. Now, what they can do is they'll run the same exact play, except for that the quarterback doesn't hand it off and the tailback blocks and they have an extra blocker. The quarterback's really athletic, and we're about to show you that in the spread play coming up next. Little Rock Mills, they also run the spread. So what you can expect from them is an empty check where there is only the quarterback in the backfield. And I'm going to show you what they do with that right now. So what's going to happen is they're going to put their B in motion. Whenever that happens, it's going to get snapped once he gets to this tackle. And it's going to be just a flow, I guess you could say. And with a down block by the right guard and the right tackle, sealing the edge will be this pulling guard up to there, down block, down block. So the quarterback's going to ride this motioned B. Everybody else is going to block. So whenever this happens, it's called quarterback counter, because if this linebacker follows the motion, then after that the quarterback keeps it. There's no one there, and we'll show you that right now. Okay, guys, so if Gravette wins this week, which we will, then after that I'll see y'all next week to break down Joe T. Robinson's offense. But if we lose, this is all from Paul from yesterday. Goodbye. Thank you, Paul from yesterday. Now it's time for the picks. But it's going to be a little bit different. Since this is a play-in game, some teams are not playing this week, such as Gentry, Prairie Grove, Elkins, and Shiloh. They all have byes. So the 3 teams that are playing in our conference are Green Forest, Huntsville, and Gravette. So with our first game, we have Green Forest at Bald Knob. Hayden, who you got?
I got Bald Knob. Green Forest won last week's game against the Berryville Bobcats 18-6, but I think Bald Knob advances to the playoffs this week in a blowout. Green Forest just doesn't have the talent that it would take to beat the Bulldogs.
I have to agree. Green Forest, they did beat Berryville, and like I called. And I feel like they'll have momentum, but they won't be able to compete in a ball game that will be a hard-fought ball game. I feel like Green Forest will fight, but I don't think that they have the competitiveness to beat Bald Knob. Now with our second game, we have Bauxite at Huntsville. Okay, who you got?
I picked Huntsville. Last week the Eagles lost against the Shiloh Christian Saints, but they decided to move on and play in a playing game. The Miners play in a tough conference with Joe T. Robinson, Arkadelphia, and Nashville. They play tough competition, but I think they are the better team. That being said, Huntsville will play their best football, and I think they win in a tightly contested game.
I have to agree. I'm picking Huntsville. Huntsville is a very competitive football team. They love to fight. They'll go to the football. They play hard. And I feel like, especially in this play-in game, they want to assert themselves as a competitor in this conference in the 4A. And as long as they keep playing hard like they have shown, I feel like they will win this football game. Now it's time for our game of the week. We have Gravette at Mills. Hey, who you got?
I think this will be a close game, but the Lions have been playing amazing football in their last few games. I think Gravette is a sleeper in this year's playoff bracket, and they will beat the Mills Comets in Little Rock to move on to the first round against the Robinson Senators.
I have to agree. I'm picking Gravette. So here's why. Gravette plays some of the best defensive football I have seen. I love watching Gravette play, and I love playing for Gravette. It's great to get to see that, but what's even better is I love the run offense that Gravette has. With 3 great running backs in Isaac Dan, Carl Bontrager, and Trenton Durham, the run attack's going to be going for the Lions. And then passing it through the air, players like Rhett Hilger and Cordell Darnell, and you know Cy Hilger's always going to be on his game. I feel like the Gravette Lions offense is going to be great up against this team. This is the beginning of the basketball era for Gravette Gameday. Because we film this on Tuesdays, we don't know how things went. So we're going to throw it to Hayden from the future.
Hey guys, it's Hayden from the future, and I'm here to talk about this week's basketball games. On Tuesday, the Lady Lions played the Silent Springs Panthers in a benefit game. The Lady Lions played stellar defense all game with multiple defensive steals and points off the turnovers. The Panthers made a crucial change at halftime, switching their defense from a 3-2 to a 3-2 trap. This change made the Lions pass the ball more accurately and created more mistakes. The Lions then couldn't use Shiley Morrison the way they wanted to and ultimately scored less points. The Panthers also got the Lions in foul trouble with 11 fouls by the fourth quarter. The Panthers were in the bonus and converted at the free throw line. They then won 71-59. Next week, the girls play on the road against Bentonville West. On Tuesday, the boys traveled to Siloam Springs to play their benefit game. We asked 4 different players, but they wouldn't tell us the score. We think they were embarrassed. Last night, the boys' basketball team played the Bentonville West Wolverines. They played with them for the first half until the Wolverines started hitting their shots. It also didn't help that they out-rebounded the Lions, which created second-chance shots. The Wolverines ran away in the second half, and the final score was 69-53. Next week, the boys play at Greenwood on Monday and at home on Thursday to play Clarksville. That's all for me, and I'm going to send it back to them from the past. Thank you, Hayden from the future.
That is all from Gravette Gameday. Tune in next week for more basketball and playoff football. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.